It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
Welcome to another weekly edition of A Cup of Coffee from Slumberland at the Lake. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
Be another good one for you this week. Here momentarily, we're going to be joined by Mike Waggett with the Ozarks Coast Kiwanis Club. And we got a big event coming up, the Great Dam Duck Drop.
Yeah, you got to be careful when you say that, man.
Yeah, you say it 5 times fast. All right. Also, listen, Lake TV has got a new Facebook group for all of our Shootout coverage. We're excited to tell you about that because the Shootout, as of this upcoming Monday, just 26 days away.
It's coming fast, man, that's for sure.
Gonna be here before we know it. Plus, have you guys heard of or seen the movie The Sound of Freedom?
That thing is blowing up. Biggest movie in the country right now, probably in the world right now.
Even against efforts from a lot of the powers that be to prevent that from being so, just went over the $100 million box office mark over the weekend. Pretty crazy. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we got some quick local ramblings, and believe it or not, football season is right around the corner.
I think I'm going to win this year in our picks again. I let Kevin win last year.
Didn't you win 2 years ago?
I did, yes.
And I think that was the year that the sun got through the cloud and found that little dog's butt. Ain't happening again, baby.
Well, and last year I was feeling generous. I didn't want to win 2 in a row, so I let Kevin win. But I was really happy the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, you know. So.
Yeah, you were wrong about that. You didn't win the Pick'em League, and you let it all happen.
Yeah.
Wait. After this break here from Slumberland at the Lake, Mike Waggett going to join us on set. I'm going to hop off, and Uncle Chris going to talk with him. But listen, it's the 56th anniversary sale right here at Slumberland. Up to 56% off sticker prices in store. Free doorstep delivery, all kinds of great stuff going on. So let's hear from our man, Daryl Cunningham.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're celebrating 56 great years. You need to come check out our 56th anniversary sale. We have savings for every room of the house. And don't forget, we're going to give away that free car. We deliver the entire lake area. And don't forget, we have some great 0% interest offers. You get the savings and 0% interest. Come see us, Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
And welcome back to A Cup of Coffee. Will and Chris from Slumberland Furniture. Will has stepped off the set, and we're joined by actually somebody good looking for a change. It's Mike Waggett. How you doing, brother?
Good, sir. How are you?
Doing
it's always
good.
good to come back to Lake TV and have some fun here.
Absolutely, and it's almost guaranteed about this time every year, we will see you. We'll have you on set because it's time for the duck drop, right?
It is time for the duck drop. This is our 14th year of doing this.
Wow, we're getting old, man, because those years are flying by.
I know, and we started it in 2009 with just the duck drop. And so we had this vision of bringing Lake Ozark Helicopter on board, and Central Bank was our presenting sponsor then, as they are now. So many thanks to our friends at Central Bank for supporting this. And so we take the helicopter, load them up with ducks, and go down below the dam, drop them in the Osage River, and they race.
Not real ducks, though,
Not
right?
real ducks.
I mean, it's not going to be like a Les Nessman thing on Thanksgiving where he's dropping turkeys out of the helicopter, right?
We won't be like Les.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically this is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday thing.
Yes, it is morphed now into a 3-day event versus a 1-day event. And so on August 3rd, we have our inaugural Great Dam Duck Shoots.
Boy, you got to be careful saying those things, don't you?
I know. This is sporting clays that we're going to be shooting. We're going to be out with our friends at Missouri Trap Shooting Association out on A Road, and you can sign a team up, and we have 12 stations that you're going to cycle through and have a lot of fun shooting at some sporting clays, and we're going to have some prizes for that, and this is the first year we're doing it, and we need some teams, honestly, so if you guys know anybody who's a trap shooter, clay sport, I think it's Clay Sporting Clays is what they're shooting.
Yeah.
Please have them go to the website to sign up. And the website for the event is www.greatdamduckdrop.com. So that's greatdamduckdrop.com.
So I call it the duck drop, but it's really the Great Dam Duck Drop.
It's the Great Dam Duck Drop.
Right, okay. So it's the duck shoot, that's Thursday, August 3rd.
Yep.
Right, okay, and that's first time they've done that. And then it's the golf tournament that's on that Friday, and that's August the 4th. And so the golf tournament's been around for a while, right?
We started the golf tournament in 2012, I believe,
Okay.
and it's been a hit. We do some things on the golf course that you won't see at other tournaments.
Yeah.
We have some games, we have some obstacles. There's a contest basically on every golf hole out there.
Wow.
We're doing it at Bear Creek this year, and we've moved it to a 9 a.m. shotgun.
Okay.
We used to shotgun at 1:30, and I was a little pool of water by the end of the tournament.
A little bit hot, huh?
Yeah, it's been a little bit hot. So we moved it to 9 o'clock to try to beat the heat, and it sells out every year. We still have room for a few more teams. But jump on that early if you want to play it's the funnest golf tournament at the lake, I guarantee it.
There you go, and that's Friday, August the 4th. And then the actual duck drop is on that Saturday, August the 5th. And again, you drop these out of a helicopter, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We don't drop them all out of the helicopter.
Okay.
We throw them off a pontoon boat into a big pool, and then the helicopter comes over and drops about 4 or 5 additional bags of ducks in there.
Okay.
And then they raise. Ameren actually helps us out by doing a little bit of a release at the time.
Ooh,
so
nice.
so the river's moving. We've had
Okay.
years that they just sort of sat there.
Right.
But they'll go ahead and race down. We'll pick a finish line, and as soon as a duck sort of breaks away from the pack, actually the top 3 ducks, and that duck will win $5,000.
$5,000.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yep. And it's been great. We've given out over $90,000 in prize money over the years. $1,000 goes to the second place duck. And then our good friends at Hy-Vee have stepped up with a $500 grocery card for the third place duck. And then we have several other smaller prizes that we give out as well. And we will contact the winner by telephone. And you guys are going to be broadcasting it.
That's right. How about that, huh?
That is really cool that you guys do that. We really appreciate that. There's not a great viewing area down on the river, so it's really nice that you guys are coming in and live streaming it. And that'll be at noon. I would tune in 10 to 15 minutes early because sometimes the helicopter has a schedule that we can't quite pinpoint to the minute. So tune in early.
Okay.
But you should be able to see the ducks drop, and I think we'll be able to announce right away because we've got a pretty good system of identifying that winner.
Excellent. Okay, so you're selling ducks, and then the first place duck winner gets $5 grand, and then you've got second and third. How do people buy a duck for this?
So everything's going through the website. So www.greatdamduckdrop.com, and there's a buy tickets button that's really visible.
Okay.
And you click on that. There's still time to be a sponsor for this event as well. So there's a Become a Sponsor button on there. You can sign up for the duck shoot. You can sign up for the golf tournament. Everything's on the website, and all the information is there to make it really easy for you.
www.greatdamduckdrop.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you go. He's Mike Waggett, and put that on your calendar. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, August 3rd through the 5th.
Yes, sir.
Great Damn
It's going to be a great event.
You're not going to want to miss our next LOZ featured doc series presented by Jonathan Hartenstein. We've been showing you guys a lot of private residential docks, and those are great, but all over the Lake of the Ozarks, you see these incredible commercial docks, and I was thinking, what goes into operating one of these crazy docks like you see behind me? Don't miss our next episode. Man, what a cool event that Duck Drop is, and great organization, great cause. Of course, you can catch that event on the Lake TV Facebook page. As we move ahead, another event right on the horizon. Believe it or not, the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout is almost here.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. Our weather, spring usually is cold for a long time, then all of a sudden it's hot, and summer's right on you. And it's kind of like that with a shootout. It's here before you know it. And here it comes again. What is this, 35?
35 years for the shootout, and over the last 10 plus years, Lake TV been all over the shootout like no one else in the country, as far as video recaps, highlights, interviews, runs from the races itself, the mini events like the shootout on the strip, the mini shootout, the wishing on a ride. All of those, Lake TV has archives and archives of footage, and we got big plans for you this year in covering the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout, the largest boating event in the entire country, and of course, instrumental for our local charities and fire departments. So Lake TV all about this incredible event, and we've created a Facebook group. It's the Lake TV Shootout coverage page, And we're going to be putting all of our coverage there. We're going to be putting some old recap videos that fall under Lake TV Classic videos, and we have a lot of Shootout versions of those. I was looking, and the last one I just looked at was the Shootout on the Strip back from 2010.
Yeah.
13 years ago.
Goes back a ways, doesn't it? It's so fascinating to see, like, you and what you looked like in 2010, but then, Ron Dugan and whoever you're talking to, what they looked like back then. That's fascinating.
Well, that was well before my time, but it is cool seeing some of that old stuff, and you can catch all of that by going and joining the Lake TV Shootout coverage Facebook group, absolutely free, and we'll be putting tons of content on there for you. So, like I said, as of Monday, 26 days until the shootout. Man, hard to believe that we're already into the latter part of the summer. Our next story, you guys have probably heard it, probably seen it in the headlines, but The Sound of Freedom officially hit $100 million, the box office, over the weekend. And it's a film based on the true story of former government agent Tim Ballard, who turned into a vigilante, embarking on a dangerous mission to rescue hundreds of children from sex traffickers. And it has seen enormous success, and the Lake Area organizations are super glad about it out there. Now, believe it or not, slavery today is absolutely massive, and we've got some Lake Area organizations, the Citizens Against Domestic Violence, Kids Harbor, and the big one, Lake of the Ozarks Stop Human Trafficking Coalition. And the reason this is important, Chris, is this movie, I've yet to see it. I don't think you've seen it yet either.
Haven't seen it yet,
But it sheds a pretty dark black eye on our nation, and as far as what has been allowed and what has been covered up. And you can't miss some of these statistics. Approximately 350,000 children are reported missing every year in the United States. Of that total, an estimated 100,000 are being trafficked. The 2021 Federal Human Trafficking Report stated that 50% of U.S. human trafficking victims are minors, and they say at the end of the movie that human trafficking is a $150 billion a year criminal enterprise. Also found it interesting that there were many studios who shied away from wanting this film. It was a long journey and a struggle for filmmakers to get the movie made and released. Actor Jim Caviezel, is that Caviezel? He also played Jesus in Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, which was unbelievable. And he spoke about the challenges during several different interviews for the film. He said, we struggled making it, we struggled getting the money together, we lost our money, we lost our studios that were supporting us, and yet we just keep getting by little bit at a time. Faith bonded us together. Pretty interesting, I saw that it was produced by 20th Century Fox, and Disney owned it after they purchased 20th Century Fox, but they decided to shelve the film.
Yeah, they didn't want to make this.
They did not want to make this. And after pulling together funds and negotiating, Angel Studios, which is the company behind the hit series The Chosen, which is starring Jonathan Romy, they picked up the movie, and I bet they're glad they did. And I've looked at some stuff with Jim Caviezel, and he was wanting to do this because of the importance on getting this message out there.
Yeah, and he has taken a lot of heat for it. I mean, he's like target number one for Hollywood and that pack of people, because this is not a Hollywood movie. They didn't make it through Hollywood. Angel Studios, as you mentioned, who does The Chosen, picked this up. They got it from Disney, who was trying to make sure it didn't get done. For whatever reason, Disney did not want this story of child trafficking out there. They were trying to bury it. Angel Studios gets it, they make it. According to Caviezel, the U.S. is the #1 consumer of child sex in the world. Mexico is the #1 provider. So the buying and selling of children is a $32 billion industry in the U.S., I believe, according to Caviezel. So he says you can use a child 10 times a day or more when you traffic them. That's how these people are making their money when they're doing the child trafficking. It's too lucrative for them to stop. The only way to stop it will be a grassroots move to stop it. And that's kind of the whole reason behind the movie, the whole why they put this out, why they're putting their lives on the line and everything out, is to try to get people aware of what's going on. And the United States is the #1 abuser of this.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem, unless it happens to you, it just doesn't seem that real. But I'm telling you, it is, and it's something we all need to be mindful of. A few other child trafficking statistics: there are 27.6 million trafficked persons globally today, and almost 20% of them are children. The source is the U.S. State Department in the United Nations. Approximately 350,000 children are reported missing, like I said, every year, and 100,000 of those are being trafficked. Child sex trafficking has been reported in all 50 states, and in 21, the report stated that 57%, again, of those were under the age of 18 years old.
Yeah.
And the United States is one of the top destinations for human trafficking and is among the largest consumers of child sex. And we told you that what it is in America, globally, it's $150 billion per year, which guess what? That's more than the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and the NHL combined, and it's even eclipsed the illegal arms trade. This, according to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Unreal.
Yeah.
And one thing, that movie, I saw some behind the scenes and some sound bites with Jim Caviezel, and one of the things he said was in the movie, and he said it outside the movie, was God's children are not for sale.
Yeah.
You know the band For King and Country?
Yeah.
So I love them. They sold these European pennies, necklaces, and their mission, a lot of you may not know this, but is to stop and prevent child trafficking, sex trafficking. And their message was, this penny is a reminder of a woman's worth, because you'll never abolish sex trafficking in the sex industry until you abolish the demand, And so until men own up and quit lusting and quit having that need, then that need is still going to have to be fulfilled, and that's where the profit comes in. And so for King and Country, they wanted to get to the root of the issue, and you got to change the heart of men, and so that's no longer a need. So it's good to see some of these efforts, and I know another one, Ashton Kutcher, he got kind of out of the Hollywood scene for a while, and he's pretty much dedicated his life to sex trafficking in children, and travels around, and
Wow.
is also a vigilante of his own right.
So, and according to statistics, this sex trafficking, right? Stealing kids, stealing women all over the world, and then trafficking them for sex. It is the #2 money-making industry in the world, I think, at this point, second only to drug trafficking. So drug trafficking and sex trafficking, obviously a major, major problem. And the problems we have on the southern border are not helping this at all.
Oh, there is no doubt about it. You saw where Mexico ranks as far as the national ranking, and having all these unidentified people, whether they're criminals, whether they're murderers, whether they're sex traffickers, whether they're drug traffickers. I mean, it is certainly not helping us, and that's a huge issue that's going on, and will only continue to worsen as we move forward, it looks like.
So we definitely would recommend going to see the movie.
For us too, we need to go.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need to get out there. It's been the #1 movie in this area for several weeks now, but if you haven't seen it yet, you might want to go see it. It's probably not going to be a fun movie to see, but it'll definitely be eye-opening.
Yeah, it could be said too for the Passion of the Christ. That is such an emotional experience watching that one. So, all right, so as we move forward, I did want to mention, listen, we have our weekly Hometown Heroes segment, and we're looking for you guys to nominate some new hometown heroes. Now, we're looking for individuals here in the Lake area, mid-Missouri, who are selfless.
Yep.
They serve, they do things without being recognized or noticed, and they don't give so people find out. We're really looking for those selfless individuals who don't get a lot of recognition, don't get a lot of notoriety. We feel like they deserve to be recognized, and if you go to mylaketv.com, you can go to contact, and on our options there is nominate a hometown hero. Fill that out, send that in, and then we'll request from you to help us get some photos and some information on some of these amazing Hometown Heroes, brought to you by our good friends at Central Ozarks Medical Center. We've had some great ones over the last 2 years, and we look forward to you guys who know so many people. Think about someone in your life who deserves a pat on the back, deserves to be recognized, and do just that, because we'd love to have some nominations.
Yeah, oh yeah, and that's one of the things that makes our area so special is that we have so many of these really wonderful, neat people who are willing to spend their time and their money and their everything to help other people, and we've had the privilege of highlighting a lot of these people over the last couple years, but we don't know them all, so if you know them, let us know who they are and we can give them some props. We know that's not why they do it. That's what makes them special.
That's right.
So let us know who they are and hopefully we can shine some light on them.
And you go to Lake TV's Facebook page and you search Hometown Heroes, you'll see a long list, tons of great people that we've highlighted over the last couple of years. So hey, as we move forward, some quick local stories.
Yeah.
I could not talk about the boat crash, 8 people injured. It hit a house. I saw it on Fox News.
Wow.
Massive. I saw Lake Expo's video. They went and got some video of it. I saw Mayor Dennis Newberry out there Sunday getting video on his cell phone.
Yeah.
But the video on Lake Expo had like 140,000 views.
Yeah.
People love this stuff.
It's crazy. How stupid can you be? You're out there boating at midnight in the dark with, this boat had like 4 big, powerful motors on it. From what I understand, they were going 60 miles an hour. In the middle of the night, in the dark. What do you expect to happen, And he hits the land, flies up in the air, hits the house.
And he wasn't sober.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and that...
got arrested for BWI.
Oh my gosh.
And serious injury to others, meaning that obviously that was just one of the many things that would have been questionable. But I think what's crazy about this is that none of these 8 died.
I know, I'm shocked none of them died, yeah.
How?
They were all thrown out of the boat, probably luckily that they were, but there's some serious injuries here. There's only, 2 moderate out of the 8. There were 2 moderate injuries, all the rest serious injuries, and again, it's shocking they weren't killed, but none of them, these are local people. California, Illinois, Michigan, and Mississippi is where the 8 different folks come from. The driver was 47-year-old Adam Ramirez out of Huntington Beach, California. And like you said, arrested for BWI and probably worse, depending upon these injuries and stuff. So this is some serious stuff. Don't just jump in a boat and think everything's going to be safe, fine, and okay. This is serious business.
Couple of things. I didn't recognize that house. It looked like it was sitting on its own little island in the middle of nowhere.
At the 1.3 mile marker, I guess.
So that was one thing. But second, let's just walk through this real quick. So you saw the house got damaged, right?
I know.
So
up high,
So if
too.
you're going 60 and you must have gotten too close to the shore, it caught air. I don't know, it started to flip, but it had to hit the house and probably bounce off the house. But my question is, how did the people, I'm just curious, I know we don't have video, but how did all 8 people get ejected from that boat with that rock riprap, the house, the water, and no one died?
I know.
Going 60 miles an hour, like I just imagined bodies flying, and hitting the rock, hitting the water. And did it say, I felt like I read a report, the Missouri Highway Patrol report, that looked like most of them didn't have safety vessels on.
None of them were wearing a life jacket. None of the 8.
Crazier that everyone lived, because there's no way a few of those individuals couldn't have landed in water. You just crazy to me. I know there's going to be legal issues. There's going to be insurance. There's going to be probably lawsuits. There's going to be recovery processes. But all 8 of these individuals, for as unfortunate as it is at this point, all they're facing, can just thank their lucky stars and thank the good Lord that they're still living, because this could have had a much more sad of an ending or a conclusion.
Yeah, and one of the things that shocked me so much when I started looking at the pictures, the boat's sitting there upside down on this property, and you can see the house, like the porch is ripped up and stuff like that. But way up on the top of the house, like up in the gutters, there's damage up there. So this boat must have hit and flew so high that it hit the top of the house and then came down on the patio or something. This is the way it looked like to me, but holy cow. I mean, yeah, I don't know how anybody survived that. That's just nuts.
Just fortunate, no doubt about it. Now, a quick side note. The Cubs have officially sucked me back in. I can't help it.
Man, I'm so disappointed in you.
Well, you know it's going to happen sooner or later because I watched those box scores. I can't get enough of my man Ellie De La Cruz and the Cincinnati Reds. And so I watched the box scores. And baseball's gotten pretty selfish. You can't really watch the games anymore unless you pay, which I refuse to do.
Yeah.
But I'll watch the box scores, and I saw my Cubbies. The Cubbies took 3 or 4 from the Cardinals, and that was worth noting because I know the Cardinal Nation didn't like that.
What a terrible year for the Cardinals, man. Oh, just horrendous. I'm kind of surprised the manager's still there.
I was going to ask, is it too soon to start calling for Oliver Marmol's head? I mean, do you start calling for the hot seat? Is he on his way out in St. Louis?
I'm kind of surprised he's still there, actually. I figured he would have been let go by now, but he is, as of this moment, he's still there.
Heck, they gave Mike Matheny 3 straight playoff-less years after the Cardinals had made the postseason 16 years in a row.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of a leash for him. So that happened. Also, we're 5 weeks away from high school football season. And before I tell you the schedule, you're officially stepping down for high school football this year.
Yep, that's right. So you're going to have a new partner on Friday nights.
We're going to announce that soon, but I wanted to announce that Uncle Chris, it'll be the first year. This will be our first time in 5 years. We did 4 years together, right?
Yeah.
Last 4 years.
4 years, I think.
Football together. So this will be our first time in 5 years. We'll be welcoming a new color guy for Lake TV's 11th season. As much as I'm going to miss you, you deserve your Friday nights, and something tells me you're going to be watching closely.
Oh, yeah, we'll be watching, but Mrs. Uncle C just needs more of me, right?
I get it.
So she says, you got to give me your Friday nights.
You're so irresistible. I can totally relate. I'll pay the price so she can have you back on Friday night. She gave me the last 4 years.
4 years, that's right.
Thank you, Mrs. Uncle C. Appreciate that. And our schedule, pretty excited. We'll put it there on screen for you real quick. We're going to open up that first week.
Yep.
Waynesville at Camdenton. Pretty awesome. Then Osage
Rolla at Camdenton that first week.
Oh, where is?
There we go. Rolla.
Oh, yeah, I missed 2 games here. I didn't put the first 2. Rolla at Camdenton at the end of August, then Moberly at Osage, and then you see the rest of the schedule there. A lot of Camdenton, a lot of Osage, quite a few Eldon games. We also have a Versailles game on the schedule.
And Versailles is in a new conference this year.
That's going to be
that
awesome.
ought to be fun, yeah.
That's going to be sweet. And also, starting on, I believe it's, Monday, August 21st, the Central Ozarks Medical Center high school football coaches show.
That's right.
I believe you're going to have Coach Jolly and Coach Pitts this year.
Yep. Coach Shannon Jolly, who took his Osage Indians to the district championship game last year. That program's getting better and better and better under Coach Jolly.
Saw him this morning at Panera Bread.
Oh, did
by
you
the way.
really? He's such a great guy.
He's headed this weekend to take his boys to their first camp, so he's like, this is the official start of it. He goes, I'm excited. You know how he is.
Oh,
He's really fired up.
And then Camdenton has a new head coach. Jeff Shore retired last year, so it's Coach Parpitz, a state champion football player at Camdenton. Actually, as a head coach, he took another school, Elmira, I believe, to the state championship game. So it's exciting to see what Coach Pitts does, but he will be on the Coaches Show every week with us talking about Camdenton Lakers football. And you can see the Coaches Show every day, or Monday through Friday during the football season at 10:02, 2:02, and 6:02, 10, 2, and 6, right here on Lake TV.
Pretty excited about all of that. Not just high school football season. We're about 6 weeks away from college football season.
NFL's coming.
NFL season is here. And then literally, I looked at the calendar. We're 2 months away from, it falls on Andrew's birthday, but the Sabres' first game of the season, September 24th. I know all of us are so excited.
September 24th. Huh?
Are excited about that.
How old's Andy now? Is he 50 yet?
He'll be 33.
Kind of looks 50.
No, he doesn't. He'll be 33. coming up. Okay, so what else is happening on Lake TV right now? Of course, Weekend at the Lake will give you an entire rundown of all your weekend events with David Leatherberry Thursday through Sunday on the Lake TV Community Spotlight Show. Allison Martin and Don Campbell with the Big Brothers, Big Sister. That was a great one, by the way.
Yeah, that is good. Very good. Those are great people.
Great people, great organization. Also, happy hour with DJ Kyle every day at 7, 5, and 11. Of course, the Lake of the Ozarks Shootout on the 25th and 26th from 8:30 till 4:30 live right here on Lake TV. Well, we're out of time, believe it or not.
Went fast.
That's going to do it until next week. I'm Wild Will.
I'm Uncle Chris.
We'll see you then.